John, thank you for giving up your seat over here.
You can do that.
Really?
I take back my, didn't know that I should
Really?
Be retrained and counseled that anytime milling is done and there is 1 inch of overlay, that they would need to obtain a project number prior to completing the project. But again, it's not something that was required by the government auditing standards to be reported, but it is noted.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do I have any questions from council this time regarding the audit? You have that, take a look at it over the weekend, and we'll come on Monday. Moving on to our next piece. It's a communication from Mayor Sherry L. Capello informing council of the reappointment of Betty J. Eisman to the City of Lebanon Authority for a 5-year term effective January 1st, 2025. Mayor?
Thank you. So, of course, I'm sure we're all aware that Betty Eisman is one of our former mayors, and we thank her for her continuing to serve as a public servant to the City of Lebanon. The City of Lebanon Authority is our authority, but it does serve 9 other communities surrounding us. It's a separate entity, but as strong mayor, I appoint residents to the board. It's a 5-member board. And again, Betty would be a reappointment. She's been serving since 2002. And of course, she would be very knowledgeable since she was formerly the mayor for many years.
And I always thank any of these people. These are volunteer positions. We thank Betty for her recommitment and taking her knowledge further. It's very important. So, any questions at this point from council? Okay. We'll move on to our next communication. Mayor Sherry L. Capello informing council of the appointment of Richard A. Wirtz to the City of Lebanon Shade Tree Commission to fill the unexpired term of Jan Yoakum, effective January 8, 2025. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the Shade Tree Commission develops policy regarding the care and protection of shade trees in the City of Lebanon. And a shade tree is the tree that is located between the curb and the sidewalk in the city. So you need a permit anytime you want to prune, cut, remove, plant a shade tree. And this board is comprised of at least 3, but not more than 5 residents of the City of Lebanon. And one of our members has unfortunately asked to be excused from finishing her term. And Richard Wirtz, who of course you all know was a former councilman, and he has agreed to serve the unexpired term of Jane. So I think we'll be in good hands there too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we thank Richard, too, for his commitment to this position. I know he was great for me in my beginning tenure here on council, very knowledgeable of the city, and yeah, he's going to do a great job. Any questions from council at this time?
I believe he sits on another board as well, correct, Mayor? Or is that the only board?
He's on the Design Review Commission.
That's right. Yeah.
And he's representing the Historical Society in that capacity. And for the City of Lebanon, that would be it. But he is, of course, on the board for the Historical Society and some other clubs and organizations. But for the city itself, those 2.
So I've had a question. This is a bit out of left field, but I'm only remembering it now. Regarding the Shade Tree Commission, what is the estimate amount of trees that the Shade Tree Commission oversees?
So it's been several years since we've had an assessment done. And I know some trees have been removed, a lot of them replaced, but some that need to be replaced. And I'm not sure if Chad has a specific number. Yeah, it's something that we talked about. We need to do another assessment.
Okay. I was just curious. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a few years.
Because we have a designation, correct? for so many trees in the
Well-
city, is that's,
Wherever there's a tree cutout, I mean, those are, I mean,
No.
because the city's basically laid out. Now, in new developments, through the planning commission, they would determine where the shade trees should go, depending on the circumstances of how the plan is being laid out. If it
but
is
doesn't the city have a designation for, Mayor, because we have so many
of a tree
trees?
city,
Yeah,
that was a very long time ago.
okay,
I don't know that we still have that.
okay, all right, thank you.
Anything else from council? All right.
You can.
And I've also, at this point, too, I forgot to do this, but is there any questions from the press or public at this time regarding any of the previous or this shade tree appointment? All right. And our final communication from Mayor Sherry L. Capello informing council of the appointment of career firefighter Alan Firestein to the Paid Fireman's Pension Fund Board to fill the unexpired term of Anthony Fico III, effective January 20th, 2025. Mayor?
Thank you. So we have not only the Paid Fireman's Pension Plan Board, but also a police pension fund board as well. This particular pension fund board, I serve as the president, and that would be the position of mayor, serves as president. There are 2 career firefighters and 2 residents who also serve on that board. And one of our every year, the firemen, the career firefighters will elect officers for their union, and they will also potentially elect people to serve on the pension board. They did a switch, and this is a new firefighter that's coming on. And again, he's filling the unexpired term of another career firefighter, and that would fill the 2 career firefighter spots. Basically, just very a brief summary, the Paid Fireman's Pension Fund Board, they authorize distributions from the plan itself. They certify the amount and the kind of benefits that would be payable to a potential retiree or someone who's applying for a disability. There's certain criteria. There's a plan document that you must follow and adhere to that. They ensure that audits are performed and just basically oversee that fund so that we can make sure that there's money available for all of our retirees in that plan.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions from council? And anyone from the press and public? All right. It's the season of appointments, so. But, all right, that closes communications, and we'll move now to ordinances. And for Monday, we have Bill number 7, amending Article 1382, Stormwater Management of the Codified Ordinance of the City of Lebanon, Pennsylvania, for the purpose of adopting new stormwater management regulations. And this is on final reading. So, Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the draft that you have in front of you this evening, there's a few relatively minor changes from the first read. They were not really substantial changes, but enough that we wanted to make note of them. So for the most part, really where there's going to be 2 additions would be Section 308D. They inserted the phrase, our engineer did, except that rain gardens with a maximum water depth of 12 inches shall not require perimeter fencing. And then Section 3080, they inserted the sentence, detention basins not intended for infiltration or managed release shall be designed to completely dewater within 24 hours following the end of the design rainfall. All of the other items, for the most part, would be formatting and like renumbering because of making changes in where some of the information is located. They changed a couple of the titles of the sections from like general requirements to construction inspections and things like that, basically because of this reformatting. So all of those did not substantially change like the guts of what is being presented. more housekeeping type items, with the exception of those 2 sentences that were added, and those were mainly for clarification.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And for council, there is a summary, and of course, you have the full amendments, so I encourage you to look over that and be ready for Monday. Sean, make sure that you read this bill. Any questions from council at this time regarding bill number 7? And anyone from the press and public? All right. That brings to end our formal agenda, what is going to be our formal agenda for Monday. On Monday, we will have Dave Funk, the chair of Coleman Memorial Park Board of Trustees. He is going to be coming to present a summary of the activities of Coleman Memorial Park, which I am thoroughly looking forward to. And that will be our full agenda for Monday night. So I'm going to open the floor. Looks like the mayor has something to share. Go ahead, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So HUD, overseeing our CDBG program, is a requirement as part of the consolidated plan development that we must undertake a community needs survey. What we want to do is kind of gauge or determine what the community believes is important when you're allocating public grant funds under the CDBG program itself. So for example, one of the questions in the survey is, kind of rank them, and one of the topics is housing. Do you believe, major home repair is more important than helping to fund home ownership? So there's a series, it's housing, which would include homeless services, Mr. Vice Chair, community services, economic development, community facilities, public improvements, and again, it's a fill in the blank to make it, easier to complete and less time, that it would take to complete it. And you rank it from like 1 being the most important to 5 being the least important, and it would be those 5 categories. So we're asking that all of our residents, please, and businesses, please fill this out. We'll have the form available on our website, here at City Hall. Do we have some up on the table already? Yep. Some are on the sign-in table. But the deadline is March 7th, so we're asking everyone to please, be a part of this survey. It helps us with planning.
Yeah, it's very important to plug in the information. More is better. And I see there is a QR code there on the return box. Does that take you to the website or to the form? Perfect. Thank you, Janelle. And thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Anything for the public interest from council? Okay. And anything from press or public? All right, then I will see you all on Monday night at 6:30.